Welcome to Emotional Support Water Bottle with Hannah and Ailish.
And we're back on location.
We
at a new
are on
location.
location. This is an exciting time. We are on location in downtown Perrysburg today.
At a local business. I don't know if they want us to
I think we should
say
shout
who
them
they are.
out.
All right,
We are
over
at Local Roots
Juice Company.
It is delicious. We both got their pumpkin protein smoothies.
It's delicious. And then I got a caramel apple toast.
And I got the peach coconut toast.
They were delicious.
It was so good. And yeah, we just decided to come here today, something a little different on this Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful day out. We tried to get out early before the intense heat.
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite hot today. We had some people that were sitting behind us. Luckily, they have left.
Made them uncomfortable. Hopefully not.
Probably did.
But they literally aren't in the video, so
yeah,
they were fine.
They weren't in the video at all. And we're trying our new mini mics.
We are, and hopefully hopefully this will be, it's kind of like a test run to go and see, so we can go do some cool stuff for the podcast on the road.
Yes, this fall to do some fun fall activities. If you guys have any suggestions, please let us know. We'd love to hear what you would like to see
in Ohio. That sounds really fun. Just let us know. But this weekend, my cousin got married, and it was a lovely time. My son was in it. He was the ring bearer.
How did he do?
It was, I took him to the rehearsal Friday night. He did not want to go down the aisle. So I had a very low expectations about what he was going to do. But you know what? He showed up. He went up that aisle.
The pressure was on the day.
He had his pillow. He went up that aisle, and then he went right back down the aisle. Did not see me in the audience. So I had to get up and try to grab him. And my husband was in the back and also we didn't know what to do because we didn't want to interrupt. And then the first set of guy and girl, the bridal party, went through. I was like standing there, and then, but you know what? They said it was fine. They said he did really good. And I was like, he didn't see me. And if I would have thought about it, I should have
been out a little bit.
Yeah. But
you were so shocked that everything was going
I know.
Well.
I'm like, did he just walk down the aisle? And everyone's like, oh. And then I was like, okay. And then he went up there, and then I couldn't see him anymore because people were in the way. And then all of a sudden he was back down the aisle. I was like, oh dear.
Where did you bring your younger son or no?
No. He ended up staying with my in-laws, which I missed him. So he stayed at the in-laws, and then my mom came up and stayed with my oldest son while we went to the reception.
Nice.
So it was nice, but it was just really nice time. It's just so fun to be able to get dressed up.
Yeah. Well, and it was your anniversary too.
It was. So it was my 6-year anniversary, and we actually got to do something because usually my husband works, but he's at a different job now, and he took this off. So and he was able to get it off.
The last time you were at a wedding, you were pregnant, right?
Yeah.
So this is the first time in a while that you've been able to kind of do what you want and feel good.
I had my first drink.
How did that go?
It was good. It wasn't, I got up to the bar because it was open bar, and I'm like, I don't even know what I want. And then I was telling the lady, I'm like, it's been a long time. So she made me an amaretto sour.
Oh, nice.
Which I haven't had in 10 years.
Yeah, seriously.
And so I had 2 of those. Then she made me something else that was
oh my
grapefruity.
Goodness.
I know. I think she definitely, made them not too strong. And then I had 2.5 White Claws.
Oh my gosh. Hannah went wild.
I know. I had all those in the span of many hours. Yeah, I did. I definitely felt it a little bit because it had been so long, but I wasn't drunk. Or maybe I was. I don't even know what it feels like to be drunk anymore.
When Hannah and I are going to do an episode, we'll slam some drinks.
We will beforehand.
Yeah,
too.
Maybe we'll do some shots.
Yeah.
We'll get an Uber to bring us out, so we won't have to worry about driving.
I know. So I definitely feel like I didn't get drunk. So I still feel like I could have my first
night out or day out. Yeah. Well, that sounds fun. And it was up toward the Cleveland area, right? So that's a pretty area.
It was really pretty. No, church was pretty, and the wedding reception. It was like a medium wedding, but
not too big.
No. And then it was just fun. Like, I feel like the best parts of wedding are afterwards.
Yeah.
Where you're all hanging out. We were like in the parking lot of the hotel, just like hanging out.
Well, and you don't see that side of the family that often either.
No. So it was just fun to like hang out with the cousins. Even when we were sitting at the table, it was just so fun to like talk to everybody and eat the good food and just be out without, I don't know, responsibility.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, really, because you've got the kids. Good for you guys.
I know, right?
So fun.
Yeah, so it was a good time. My son, he did what he needed to do, and so I'm happy with everything, and
good.
He said that was fine, so.
I bet he's going to look so cute in the photos.
I know, and I had him looking adorable. Just saying.
So cute.
Yeah.
Well, we should talk about the breaking news that has happened over this Memorial Day weekend.
I know the breaking news, but maybe also not breaking news.
Yeah, well, we talked about it on our socials, but
we don't really know.
We don't really know what's going on. So some of you may already know that Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, there were divorce rumors, and it was like gung-ho divorce. There were rumors of threesomes and affairs and all kinds of stuff that Sophie has abandoned the children. So crazy. Joe has already like gotten an attorney. He's ready to file. Yes. He hasn't been wearing the ring, which I don't think that was even true, honestly.
I know, and I don't even think that's like that big of a
right to not wear it. Yeah, like, especially for a man. Sometimes married. They don't, right. But then, late last night at their Austin show, apparently Sophie was there. She was spotted. The receipts are on our Instagram if you'd like to check that out.
Look at it, please.
And he does have the ring on. So
I know it's like they're either trying to make it look like nothing's going on, or like literally nothing's going on.
There's bees around, so that's why we're
flicking my wrist around. That's why.
Yeah, I hope that nothing is going on. As soon as we heard this, I was like, I hope this is not true. I don't want them. I think they seem like a very like real couple.
I know, like a cool couple. And you know what else is interesting too is we don't really see them like being filmed and the paparazzi and stuff. So it's like I feel like we wouldn't know like exactly what was going on. Maybe he never has this ring on.
Right.
You know
what I mean? It's really easy to like take bits and spin it into your own story because they are a more private couple, even with their kids. Like they never post their kids.
No.
So, I don't know, but this is developing. Maybe by the time this comes out on Wednesday, maybe we'll have more. But at this point, neither of them have issued statements or anything, and I highly doubt they will. I
know. Well, no, but I mean, it's really like taking over. It's like maybe they like, oh, they're not divorcing, but sometimes they have their camps like say stuff like that, and then 3 months later they're getting divorced.
Well, and here's the thing too, because I don't know their whole tour dates schedule, but I did see, I think it was like the night that all this stuff broke, and wherever they were like, oh, here are the Jonas wives, and it was just Priyanka and Danielle. But I'm like, no shade to either of them, but it's like they're not really doing anything else. Like Priyanka does do like other things, but like I would say if we're ranking them as far as like star quality or like who has the most successful career, Sophie definitely is at the top.
No, at least in America.
Right. So it's like she does do other things. Danielle's just a normal person, and then Priyanka, I feel like recently her main focus has been with their child. So like, it's not weird that Sophie would have another commitment and not be able to go to every single show on the tour,
I saw a funny video and it was like they were making it was like Nick Jonas's or like all the Jonas's moms, and she was she's like, this is one of my favorite pictures, and it was all three of the wives. And she's like, and it was from Priyanka's wedding, so they were in the traditional gear.
yeah.
And she's like, yeah, they were in that. And then these two just look so pretty. And she like flicked her finger back and forth from Sophie to Danielle, but that wasn't good enough for people. And she's like, they look so pretty like that. And then and then everybody in the comments was like, why aren't they talking about Danielle? Why'd she say it like not about Danielle? And it's like, she was clearly meant like they were in
both,
traditional stuff that's Priyanka's, and was
Yeah.
like, look how pretty they look in it too. And everybody in the comments was like, why is everyone so mean to Danielle? Like,
I
it's like,
mean,
settle down.
also, like, we've known Danielle for way longer than we've known the other two in the Jonas world, you know, like she's always been there.
Right. And
so it's like, sorry, we're not as interested in her every single second. Like, she's a facet of the family. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's just crazy that people were like, the mom's not talking about Danielle.
Like, everybody
calm
knows
down.
that they love Danielle. She's
right. It's fine.
Yeah, come on.
Chill out.
But anyway, so that's a developing story.
No, now I don't know what to say about it because
I really don't. Yeah, it is pretty wild. I also wanted to like follow up this. We don't have to talk about this, but just I did apply for The Bachelor. It was a very quick.
What did it say? Like, what did you?
It was an online application, and you literally just like put in your information. They wanted height and weight, which I found interesting. Yeah.
What does it matter? They don't probably with clothes.
They probably filter out like if you're over 110, they don't want you.
Like, bye.
Over 110 and under like
crazy.
5'6".
Yeah, so like all these people that maybe are like a little bigger and applying for The Bachelor, maybe that is literally they like honestly, don't, because they never have like plus size people on there.
No, never. You're right. They don't. And even like,
wow, you should have lied.
I know, and then show up and I'm like
84 pounds,
5 inches shorter,
5'10" and 84 pounds.
But and then they asked for a headshot, so I uploaded a photo, and then they asked for.
Do you have a professional headshot? You could use the
yes.
AI.
I know. I literally thought about it. No, I had a picture from my cousin's wedding that I just used, and then they said you could put your socials on there, but like I don't have any, and that was just optional. So. And then they just said, like...
You're not going to have enough followers for them.
Right, so... And then they were just like, why do you want to, like, be on the show?
Did you say because you're in love with Joey?
No, I didn't. I said, basically just to, like, try something new. Like, I thought it would be fun, which I feel like sometimes... This is just my opinion. But having somebody, like, with that vibe... I think is better for reality TV than somebody that's like, oh my God, I'm so in love. Because you know that person isn't being genuine. Of course they're not in love.
I know. They've literally never met this person.
Right. So maybe my honesty, I thought about lying, but then I was like, you know what? No, I literally just wrote one sentence.
I feel like they literally base it on looks anyway. Like,
I know.
It literally has nothing to do with
anything else.
They're like, let's just throw this in here and see what people
say. And I never even got like an email confirmation or anything, so I don't know what that means.
What's the deadline?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're going to be filming like in the next couple months, so... will I even get like a rejection? I don't know.
Or like will you make it to like a preliminary?
Yeah, like am I gonna have to fly out somewhere?
You're gonna have to do like all these, and you'll have to do the psych test.
I literally will do it. Like, why not? You know, that would be so funny. I don't know how I would be able to swing getting off of work, but
then we can get the inside scoop about what it's like. Even
I'll
if you
quit
get like
my job if I have to.
You know, it's like, what is?
I know. I would love to know. So anyway, I just wanted to update everybody, and if I hear anything else, I will let everyone know. Okay, guys, we are really excited to announce another collaboration with the brand Happy Earth. They make the cutest clothes and they are sustainable and made really responsibly. We are getting an order in soon, so we're really excited to show you guys some of their cute fashions, especially with the temperatures cooling down here in Ohio. For fall, these are going to be so perfect. So they have everything from organic sweatshirts to organic joggers, really cute graphic tees, and the best part about this brand is that they actually give give back to the environment. So with every purchase, you are helping to fight climate change, plant trees, and even clean up trash. So for a nice discount, you guys can use Emotional Support Water Bottle Pod at checkout for a wonderful 20% off. That's at happyearthapparel.com. Use code Emotional Support Water Bottle Pod for 20% off at checkout. Do you want to talk about Brittany's new tattoo? Did you see that?
I didn't see the picture, but I saw that she got a new tattoo.
So at first I saw the picture that was like on the Daily Mail or whatever. And then I looked it up on her Instagram. It's like a video.
I should look it up right now.
Yeah, it's honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay. And it's really hard to see. It looks like it's in red ink. And then I'm watching her get it done. It seems like kind of an unsanitary situation. And then it's like the video is so poorly edited. And then when you see her like showing it off, it looks really bad.
What is this? What is?
Oh,
is this the?
Is she getting another? What is that?
This is from a day ago. Would it be before that?
Oh, it was before that. Oh, I feel like she's posted a lot of stuff
since the tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay, you can keep talking about it if you want. I'll keep looking.
It's like that starts with her. Oh wait, after that one. Here we go. So anyway, the video goes on for kind of a long time. But towards the end, like I think it's actually kind of shoddily done.
Oh dear.
Like it doesn't look good. It looks like it was free-handed by someone who is not very skilled. And that is from a unclear video.
Like we she just got her hair in it.
Right. That's what I mean. It's kind of unsanitary. But like she hasn't posted like an actual like singleton shot of it.
Still watching it.
But and it was done in Mexico, which is no shade towards Mexico, but it's just like we all know that sometimes the laws down there are a little bit different as far as like, health and safety. So I'm just a little concerned about infection for Brittany. I'm concerned that this isn't even correctly aligned with her spine. Like it just doesn't look very good.
So is it red? Like red ink?
It appears to be red. Yes.
That is interesting looking. Okay. Well, so each their own.
Yeah, just another concerning moment with Brittany.
I wonder what the symbolism of that is.
I mean, you could take it so many different ways. I don't know. Did you have any other like main or timely topics for today?
I don't think so.
Okay. We can touch on OC real quick. You said you didn't watch it.
I did not get a chance to watch it.
It's fine. This was a boring episode. So I'll just kind of breeze through it and you can kind of give your 2 cents on stuff. Heather and Terry sold their house for $55 million. We saw it like literally live happen. Well, not live, but like on the show, unedited. The Jason Altman was the one that was doing the listing. They're talking, he literally leaves, and then the producers are like, hold on a second, guys. And it was so funny because Terry and Heather are sitting kind of like we are talking like casually. And then when producers did that, they both were like, and then Heather immediately like gets on her phone. So it was like real that like production said, stop the scene. And then they come back and the people had signed. So the deal officially went through with their house. So like super exciting for them. But I do wonder what they're going to do because they have like 4 kids. So it's like, where are you guys going? Like you're going to have to lease another house. And an interesting thought about this, like 55 million is like big money, obviously. But even for them, it's big money for a house.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, like, that she's keeping it quiet. She hasn't said anything to the ladies at this point. How are they going to react to that? because I could definitely see some of them being like, you know, acting like, oh, they're so snooty and this amount because they don't have that kind of
Right. They're
money.
definitely going to be snarky and jealousy. Wow, if I had a $55 million house.
Right. So that was that. Shamrock keeps talking about John and Shannon, but acting like everybody else is. There was some weird product placement. I don't know if other people noticed this. We were at Shannon's house, and there's like a whole display on the counter of 818 tequila. So I feel like Bravo
Wasn't
is.
that was on the.
It was on Beverly Hills.
Yeah, where it was like
with
they
Lisa
got
Rinna.
mad that she had that instead of, was it
Kathy Hilton's. I don't even know what that one
I
is
remember
called.
that. It's like my friend, and then but they didn't actually say it was the 818 until like later
Right.
on.
So I don't know if they clearly have a deal with 818 because it was literally like bottles set up nicely.
Speaking of,
on
I
the
was
counter.
like looking those up so we could buy some and taste it.
Yeah,
It's
how much
very
are
expensive.
they? Really?
Some of them was like 65.
Oh my god!
Like just way too much. For that.
I would order a shot somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm gonna be getting a bottle. And also Trader Joe's pineapple juice, which this is a random one, and the only reason why I say it is because there was a shot of Tamra drinking the juice, and then the camera followed her as she put it down and like stayed there for a minute, and then went back to her and Shannon talking. So I don't know what's going on with.
Well, that's different.
I don't know what's happening. Anyway, so then we go into like slimy Ryan. This isn't anything new, but he's kind of saying he does that gaslighty thing where if a woman is feeling like unsure about the relationship, maybe there was infidelity in the past, and then they're like, well, but how can I trust you? Like, do you really want to be with me? And he's like, it's because it's you. I'm different because it's you. I want to get married because it's
I want to be on this show.
Yeah. So that was kind of, and that you'll have to watch this, but it's like the way the shot is angled. Of course, Ryan just got out of the shower. So it's a torso up shot. He does have a towel on, but in the one shot behind him, there's a mirror. So you can like see his whole back and the towel around his waist. I thought for sure we were going to see that he didn't have a towel on, or he was going to just drop the towel. Like I could just see him doing that.
It's like, oops.
He just gaslights her about the cheating stuff again. Like he is, I don't know how she's so deep in this relationship, Jen, that she just doesn't see it. She's blinded. And then basically the biggest thing that happened was the pumpkin party that Taylor threw, which was a complete disaster. No one wanted to carve these pumpkins. It was a cute fall activity and no one cared, which I thought was kind of rude to Taylor. And
like you're there to do your job too. It's like just carve the freaking pumpkin, and then move on.
They kept making sexual jokes for no reason, which is typical. Tamra led the way with that, and what else? Oh, Tamra is like obsessed with Heather yet again. She even gets a call in from Teddy Mellencamp saying there are no paparazzi in the Orange County and they don't come to Disney World, which I don't think that's true.
No.
I think that we do see shots from Disney World, and I think that there are paparazzi, and you can't say there's no paparazzi in the entire county.
Right.
So anyway, she brings that up at the pumpkin party randomly. She's just like, well, I'm not saying, because, apparently there were rumors that Terry was cheating on Heather.
Yeah, I had heard that.
Did you remember that at the time? Because I didn't.
I think I do remember that, like, kind of just like
a blip.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, she brings it up and she's like, well, I didn't think it was true, but it seems like you're staging these paparazzi shots. And Heather's like, I wouldn't tell you if I was. And she makes a good point. She's like, listen, if you were that concerned about my relationship, like none of you called and asked me about it. And then the big thing was, remember from last episode, the CPS thing?
Yeah.
Shannon is adamantly denying that she said that.
Well, it's on camera.
Right. We have tape. And then Taylor said she never remembers that being said. And
Taylor
so
was
does
at the other
Tamra.
freaking side of the thing, and Tamra was right there and re-explained it to Jen.
Right. Right. And that's
So,
what
we'll see
they
that.
showed. They showed the
Right.
stuff from last week. And yeah, we all know it was true. And they're like throwing Jen under the bus, trying to make her out to be a liar.
What?
Yeah. Because Jen brought it up to Gina.
Out. It's all going to come out.
And Jen is to Gina, she's like, I am not lying. And Gina's like, I believe you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just like, you know what I think it is that Shannon is so far up Tamra's butt. It's ridiculous. I think that she sees her.
I think she's scared of Tamra.
I think she is too, but I think she also sees her as like the cool girl in high school, where it's like, oh, I need to attach myself to her, and whatever she says, like, I'm gonna go with. And then with this CPS thing, it's like they're all denying it, like, even though there's flat out proof.
And footage, you're being recorded.
If you literally don't remember that for real, then like you need to go and talk about your drinking.
I feel like when that happens, when they're like, I didn't say that, it's like, did they not care, or are they trying to like not deal with it until later when it's brought back up, and they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with it now, and then it'll be a couple months later, and then we can discuss it then, or you won't be mad, and we've had and then we've had a good relationship since then.
Because obviously this is going to get brought up at the reunion. Right. So that was the main thing that happened the whole episode. Shannon, she literally said, I would never say that. May God strike me dead.
Uh-oh. She better not see outside in a lightning storm.
She did say it so multiple times. Then Shannon suddenly has a pain, which I think was just an I think she had a realization and she was like, oh, shoot.
Well, I do remember. Well, Shannon won't stop lying at this point in that. I don't like that.
So then she leaves. She knows she's in hot water. She leaves. Tamra, then I guess in a previous scene, Shannon had brought up something about the size of Travis's penis.
Who did, Shannon?
Yes. This was like something that they didn't show. Oh. And then Tamra, bestie Tamra, decides to bring it up at this party. She's like, well, Shannon, I mean, let's just get it all out there. You said that you heard that Travis has a small penis. Like, why bring that up? Like, that is just so distasteful. It doesn't matter to you.
I mean, how would she feel if somebody said that about her significant
other? That's exactly what Emily said. She's like, it would be a completely different story.
It's nobody's business.
No, it's nobody's business. And it's just
say it on TV.
And then just for Tamra to bring it up, I mean, this just shows she isn't a good friend. And I just feel like if we took Tamra out of the mix, it would be such a different dynamic.
Right.
Like, I think the show would be so much better without her.
Without the instigating.
Yes, she's so fake, and it's just ridiculous. So anyway, that was basically the gist of it. It was mainly just the pumpkin party and Heather and Terry selling their house. You didn't miss that much. It was a pretty, you should still watch, but it was a pretty boring episode all in all. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting more and more annoyed with OC. We talked about this last week, where it's just like Tamra keeps bringing up all this stuff, and it's just like
this off-camera stuff.
It's unnecessary.
Like, you're just being mean.
She is. She's a mean girl, and she's just trying to do all these things to be relevant. But it's just her being horrible to people, and it's not fun to watch.
I know, and it's like she has enough weight from being on the show for so many years that she doesn't have to do what the producers are saying. Right. I feel like she's going to say that.
I feel like she thought she was going to come back and it was going to be this grand thing.
I know.
But people don't care as much.
Right.
And so...
And it's a different time. It's like when you're doing that kind of stuff in the old seasons, it was like, that's what we wanted.
Right.
Now we know that you're just doing this for TV.
Right. It's so
instead
clear.
Of being a genuine person.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I like Heather. I don't know why they're like hating on her so bad. She has such a vendetta against Heather. It's kind of unbelievable.
I know. And then I'm like, did I not remember like something from before that there was like some extra animosity still lingering? Or
I think the main thing is jealousy. Yeah, because Tamara knows she will never be at that level. Anyway,
should we take a break?
Okay, we're back.
So something we were just kind of like thinking about over, I don't know, we've had a couple different conversations about a couple different things.
Yeah.
And just kind of like parasocial relationships and just like the ethics of.
Right, because we talk a lot about, celebrity stuff, but it almost feels like, I don't know, now.
Sometimes it goes too far.
It does.
I think that's
And I know back in the day with like Pres Hilton and everything, like things were below the belt then for sure. But now it's almost like people literally just think that they have a justification to like talk about
or like
celebrities in such an intimate way.
Yes. I know one of the things that like the Gaylor thing.
Yes.
It's like a big one. And it's not just her, but I feel like that's a really big one that gets people like really
like
going.
with Harry Styles too.
Yeah, and like Louis.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like with Taylor Swift, we're literally just grasping at straws.
And that's the thing too. It's like if you're really dissecting something and you're like looking into it so much and you're like, okay, she was friends with this person in 2016.
Yeah.
So this has to be about her. It's like, why can't they, even if something is about them, it might not be as deep as you're making it.
Right.
Too. And it's like, especially with like, is it fun to think like 1989, some of the Harry Styles songs are about Diana Agron? Like, yeah, that's kind of fun. But people are like willing to like die on this hill for it. And it's like, if she doesn't want us to know that she could like be bisexual or
then that's
gay,
her choice.
Exactly. Like there's a reason she's not coming out.
But don't you think too? I mean, yeah, 100%. She doesn't have to share that part of herself if she doesn't want to. That part of herself might not even exist.
Right.
But if we're literally just looking at like who she has dated, it's not, to me, it's not like, okay, she hasn't really dated any guys. Like, oh, it could be that it's literally like she has consistently dated men and had like long lasting relationship with men. So it's like, where is this random narrative?
I know, and then for people to be like, Joe Alwyn is a beard, a 6-year beard.
Yeah, like,
I
come on.
I just like can't. Even
it just feels uncomfortable to even like entertain
go
that
there.
kind of stuff.
Like if you want to say stuff about like in the past, I guess that's a little different. But to just disregard somebody's relationship like that, like it's your job,
right? And people are just making up like such deep stuff. And it's like, we're okay with her songs. I think that you could probably take any of her songs
and apply
it to any situation you wanted to.
And like I was listening to this podcast called What I Will Say, and it does a lot of Taylor Swift stuff. And there was this song on 1989 called Wonderland. And it's like this whole Alice in Wonderland themed song. And apparently Diana Agron just loves Alice in Wonderland. Can you not also, like, I'm watching a movie with my friend.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, that would be kind of like cool to apply this to like
a
love song
right.
that
I'm
she
inspired.
does. It's like, why does that mean it's about?
Right.
It's like, okay, yeah, we can say, well, even like that one performance where it was like, we are never getting back together, which was allegedly about Jake Gyllenhaal. But then when she performed it, she did a British accent like Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Okay, so she took one of her old songs that was potentially about somebody else and then applied it to something new.
Right.
Like you can do.
I know. I think, and especially with friendships, it's like if I was of a musical mind, I'm sure that I would be inspired by like things that we do together all the time.
Right. Like it's like, what if me and you had like this special movie together and then one of us wrote a song about it. That doesn't mean me and you were in a secret relationship
or like
the whole time.
maybe I'm inspired by like how you are as a mother and I write a song. That doesn't mean
You're
that like I'm in love with you and like we're raising the kids together. Like it's
secretly
just,
my husband's the beard.
Like it's just so crazy. Like people just twist things to whatever narrative they want. And like especially with sexuality, like I do like with Harry Styles, like I respect that for so long he's been like, I'm not talking about that.
Right. Or
like
he'll
I'm not
be
gonna
like,
entertain this. It's none of your business.
Exactly. Or like he'll say something like, or like that one interview where they're like, what do you look for in a partner or something? And then one of them was like, oh, just female. And then he's like, that's not that important. You know, it's like you can say that and you can take what you want with that, but that doesn't mean him and Louis Louis Tomlinson were in.
You're feeding into it. Just a slip of the tongue.
I'm so enthralled with it. And like, is it like
it's fun to just
it is. And it's like if you really, you know, like even if you're like, I could see where management would be like these two guys that are so marketable to women.
See that?
Right. But that doesn't mean that's true. And if they're not gonna say it's true, and in fact, Louis has said, I think it was Euphoria did like a thing with it, and he said it was uncomfortable with
it. Because it is like, imagine if we were in the public eye, if the podcast really takes off
and they start shipping us, it's gonna make us feel uncomfortable.
It would make me feel uncomfortable, especially like for
every
One
interaction
Direction
we have.
too. It was like they were a boy band on the road together all the time. They experience things that no one else can possibly know about, and then it's like now it's awkward because it wasn't like it was just the two of them together. No, there's Niall and Zayn, and
I know, like if
what's his name? Can't think of the last one. Liam. So
if you
guess we know which one's my least favorite.
He's canceled to us. But it's like if you isolated the situation, like Niall and Liam, it's like you might be able to pick up on something too. But if you're just gonna isolate
it just seems so like that must have been so uncomfortable for them. I mean, they had fan fiction, fan art, everything. I'm sure there were signs at their concerts, and then it's like, you know, they're young boys, young men at that time who are performing with their peers. Like how uncomfortable, regardless of their sexuality, like that would make someone feel uncomfortable.
And then it's like, okay, so you were right.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make you feel better?
Yeah.
Is that like everything you ever wanted was to be right about that? You know?
I know. It's just
like if they don't want us to know, they don't want us to know.
Right. So it's just like, and it's not like they're giving us glaring examples of like, oh, we caught them making out in an alley.
It's like they looked at each other that one time.
Nothing.
It's like, I know. It's like
it's just absurd. And especially in 2023 when like, you know, someone's sexuality is such a topic. I don't know why this feels like really, but it's such a like personal thing, and we're acting like we're so like
and then
progressive with it, but we're still
if you're that fascinated by somebody and need them to confirm it. It's like, how does that help?
I know. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
And we were, oh shoot, what were we talking about? Oh, the other day we were kind of like talking about it, like in Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
I feel like sexuality is a lot different.
Oh,
we
it's
were
so
saying,
different.
Like, everybody around you is 10 out of 10, even more. That's the people you're surrounded by all the time. It's like you might just kind of like take anything you can get.
Right.
It's like, why wouldn't you? I mean, like if you're, you know, or let's just even say Diana Agron and Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
it's like
beautiful.
Well, yeah, they're
both of them
beautiful.
Are stunning.
So why not?
Right.
You know?
And it, like we said, if we were in that situation where all of a sudden this beautiful superstar is hitting on you,
yeah, it's like,
you know, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know. It's
like I don't.
It's just a different reality.
Yeah.
It's like I can have a friendship with other women and I'll be like, oh, they're really pretty or
Right,
something, but
and
I'm not
feel
into
nothing.
them.
Yeah.
But if my friends are Jennifer Lawrence or
Yes.
Megan Fox,
I mean, that's a different ball
I know.
game.
Like we're talking,
Yeah.
and even if you're looking at guys, you can get any woman. You've probably been with
Yes.
any woman that's just gorgeous, stunning, the most famous woman ever. It's like, well, maybe
Well,
I'll
now
try a
if
guy.
Jake Gyllenhaal's hitting on me, you know,
A little
okay.
Brad Pitt, Leonardo
Yeah,
thing. It's like,
it's not a
why
big
not?
deal, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think it's just there's so much more fluid. It's way more fluid than it is in like real life, you know.
I know, like Shannon from Fluently Forward, she's like, I just have a theory that everyone in Hollywood is bisexual, and it's like, well, yeah, because it's different situations.
Because it's there. I mean, I'm okay. I don't think that someone can just like turn bisexual or turn gay or whatever. But like, so if you took me out of my situation right now where I am like a heterosexual female and put me into this situation where I'm surrounded by like literal 12 out of 10s and anyone is showing some interest in me, yeah, I think I would be so struck that like my actual sexuality wouldn't even play into it.
Especially if you're like a new upcomer. Like maybe if you're a seasoned vet, you could
then
be like,
it's
I don't need you.
Yeah. But if it was me literally plucked from my life right now and suddenly jolted into fame, yeah. I mean, we're talking about something completely different here. So yeah, that's just interesting that we just think that we can like label people when the society is so like, oh, labels don't matter. But
and somebody brought up a point too that was that maybe I don't know, as any example, Harry Styles, maybe his family is homophobic.
Yeah.
And that's why he's not, and this is just an example.
Right, we're not saying it is.
It's like maybe that's why somebody wouldn't come out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
it has nothing to do with the public's perception.
Or they're not ready to talk about it themselves. Maybe they're still working through stuff. I mean, it's none of our business. It really is none of our business.
Somebody, I think it was on Shannon's podcast, she was talking to somebody that was like, oh, what was your coming out story? And the guy was like, I never got to come out because everyone assumed I was gay.
Yeah.
Like, that's horrible.
Right. I mean,
it's like, and I mean, we all obviously be like, oh, I think that person's probably, you know.
Right. But I mean, we don't say it.
Yeah. And if you're doing that to like Taylor Swift or whatever, it's like, she's not going to want to come out because you guys already called her that for how many years now?
Yeah, it's got to be really uncomfortable. I also was saying like I have such a weird feeling with like blind items, and I was looking through the one site like Crazy Days and Nights, and I'm just like, this is just kind of absurd. It's like anyone can say anything, I feel, you know, and it's just like, where do you like get off putting these tips through? Like, I just don't understand it.
What's interesting, when you're like, if you think about like Britney Spears, like all this blind items that about her have actually come out to be true, then people are going to be like, well, then that one must be true. And that one must be true. Or it's like even with the Joe Jonas, Sophie Turner, if they are having threesomes, that doesn't mean he's leaving her. It's like, you can't just take oh, well, we've heard they have threesomes. And even if that's a known fact, and then be like, well, that must be why they're getting a divorce.
Well, and even if they do have threesomes, okay, so they do.
Right.
Why is that even like a storyline? Like, why do we need to know that? Why do we need to talk about it?
Right.
Yeah, like it's so. But the one blind item, it was like about Joe and Sophie, and it said like, yeah, he actually fell for this 20-something model actress, and it wasn't just for one of their threesomes. Oh, and they called him illiterate.
Oh.
So is it like known that he can't read?
Well, there's like illiterate and illiterate are like two different things.
Well, what's the difference?
I don't know, because I've had somebody point that out.
Can you look it up?
Yeah.
Please stand by.
No,
I'm going to look this up.
Because I thought that a long time too.
Illiterate with an A
is words that begin with the same sound or letters. So maybe they're kind of saying like,
oh, like Joe Jonas.
yeah, or something. I don't know.
Okay,
Or
so I
so
definitely.
it's like to give a clue that it's Joe
Yes.
Jonas.
Okay, so that makes sense.
No, I've had somebody
so I'm
else
backpedal on that
no,
one.
I know. I thought they were saying illiterate for a long time. I'm like, and then they'd say it like about Lindsay Lohan, and I'd be like, oh yeah, she is kind of. She probably is dumb. But
probably
no,
can't
it's
read.
illiterate to give more clues. Anyway.
Okay,
Now you know
like
if you listen.
alliteration.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes more sense. I mean, I guess I never encounter that in my day-to-day life.
No.
So like I know what an alliteration is, but when you just say illiterate, it really threw me off.
And then you're like, oh, they're stupid.
Yeah. Right? Like I feel like we need to like
they're none of them we know how to read.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. But anyway, I just thought it was like, really? Like, we're going to throw out there again about their sexual life.
Yes.
Why?
No. And even if you read that, it's like, oh, that's interesting. And then why do you have to like dig into it as much?
I know. And I seriously wonder, and there on Crazy Days and Nights, there are so many tips on there. And I just wonder, like, if we threw something in there.
Maybe we should do like a social experiment.
Like, will it pop up? Will it take off? Like, I honestly
we can do
wonder.
A blind item on ourselves.
Yeah.
This illiterate zealous podcast duo.
Oh my God. If you're anything like us, you love to sneak a little bit of that raw cookie dough out of the bowl before you bake it. You know it's bad for you, but it's just so good that you can't help it. Well, now there's a company that is making raw cookie dough that is actually safe to eat, and it is made with good for you ingredients. At Dough, they make cookie doughs that taste amazing. They're vegan, they're gluten-free, and they are enhanced with vitamins and supplements that can help with immunity, your skin, and mood support. The best part about these is that you can eat it right out of the tub, or you can spoon it out and bake it in just 8 or 9 minutes. They also have some delicious donut holes that we recently tried on the podcast, and these are perfect if you want to bring them to work or even put them in a lunchbox. They're enhanced with some more vitamins that can help increase energy and metabolism, and let me tell you, they were so good. We tried the chocolate and the vanilla ones, and they were just amazing. So be sure to try Dough at eatdough.com, and if you use our promo code ESWBPOD, you will receive 10% off, and you can use free shipping on orders over $30 for free shipping. So that's eatdough.com, and dough is spelled DEUX, and use ESWBPOD at checkout for a nice discount. It makes me just feel kind of uncomfortable. And even like just because I was listening to Nick Viall's most recent episode, they were just going so deep into like this celeb gossip and being so judgmental. Right. And I just don't like, I think it's one thing to like comment on stuff, and it's another thing to like act as if you are the, judge and jury of anyone else's life, and to be so like judgmental and rude about it. It's like you don't know these people. Right. And I don't know if we always do a good job.
Illiterate. I don't know. I definitely thought that too.
That's all I can keep thinking about is how stupid we were. like it's actually more of a reflection on us than anything.
That we're like, sorry,
but
I just think it's funny.
But
like the audacity they have to call them stupid and tell their personal business.
That's what I thought they were doing. I was so
I thought that until like recently when somebody brought that up.
Offended.
Anyway.
But I feel like, I don't know if we always do a good job of it, but like I try when we are talking about stuff to just say stuff, and I'll also be like, okay, this is just what we know. We don't know these people. This is what we've heard, or this is what we saw on TV or social media. But like, they can do whatever, you know? Like, even with Selma Blair last week, that book that was insane.
But that's the thing too. Like, if you're looking at like a celebrity memoir, like they're giving us all this
Right.
information.
I think it's different.
Right. It's versus like you're just reading like, oh, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner have threesomes. It's like they're not telling us that.
Right.
But when we're reading a book or we're even watching The Housewives, like this is what they're telling us, and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's different. And even when we do talk about stuff on Housewives or last week with Selma Blair's book, like we still say like, well, wish Selma Blair well.
I know, like
I
this
hope
is what
she's
she
doing
said.
okay. Like, or okay, Tamara's making some bad choices, but like it's her life. I mean, I just don't think it's fair. Like we could easily go deep into like all these random rumors and like be super judgmental with these people, but like why?
I know.
Like, and it feels so bad when people do that to me.
I know. Well, remember when we were talking about it, like there was blind items at our school?
Yeah. That would be funny, but no one else would think it was funny.
This junior football star.
I wish that we would have, like, how funny would that have been if we had like an actual school paper at the time and like it was a thing to do this? Oh my God.
It would have been.
Because there are rumors out there anyway.
I know.
Oh my God. If only we could have thought of that before.
I
know. Well, the only other thing I had written down was like the Sophie and Joe thing, and we've already touched on that, but it's like people just ran with it. Like they saw one time he didn't have his ring on and now all of a sudden he's contacted divorce lawyers. Like where did that come from?
I know. And if it does end up coming out, then their people put out a statement.
Right.
And then we'll go from there.
But until then, let's tone it down.
That would be so stressful too if somebody like kept picking apart your
gosh, I can't even.
all the time.
That's why people say so much stuff about Hollywood marriages, but like no wonder they don't last.
I know, like somebody's constant. And if I'm sitting there reading and they're like, oh, that time Hannah's husband like did this thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm mad about that again.
Yeah, I know.
Like I am mad at you, and everybody on the internet is in your comments being like, yeah, that's so awful that you did that, and remember that other time, and you're like, wait a minute. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I mean, and even if things aren't true, it's still getting put into your head, and you're like, well, where did other people get this information?
And if somebody's like, your husband's been DMing me,
yeah,
even if it is true and they put it out publicly, like that's humiliating.
I know. It's just, I don't know. I just get really like, and I feel like we used to definitely be more this way with like the Kardashians. Like we felt so involved in their family. Like we really did. Yeah, because but that was a little bit different because we watched everything.
I know. And we're like getting it.
And now we're like a little more removed from it, and it's, I feel like a normal person adjacent to them at this point. But even then we weren't so like, oh, let's run with this rumor. Like we weren't ever, I don't know.
And we were always like, they didn't tell us that.
Yeah, I know.
This is what we saw on the show. It is like, no, it's interesting. I do feel like celebrity culture has changed a lot too. Like influencers and YouTubers and stuff just being so oversharey. It's like, we expect celebrities to do that
and
too.
it's a weird thing because I feel like they used to share more.
Right. You'd have like Lindsay Lohan coming out to the paparazzi
full
and be
on
like,
doing interviews.
Punched me in the face.
Or like, there would be more paparazzi stuff versus now they're scared to post stuff. They're scared to say things. People just make stuff up. Yeah, it's like
every little thing you do. If you're a parent and you post a picture of your kids,
you're tore apart. Well, I feel like we could go on about this for forever, but it's starting to get a little busy.
There's about 100 people out here, and it's really awkward.
We're starting to feel a little uncomfortable.
And someone's gonna take our picture and be like, influencers out in the wild.
I hope that they do. That would be actually a nice boost. We should have had like a sign that said emotional support water
in our ad.
But anyway, I didn't really think of like a genuine recommendation, but I thought we could just like recommend local roots if you're in the area.
It's really good. They got some seasonal
stuff. And if you're not in the area, I mean, I'm sure a lot of other juice places do this exact same thing where they do seasonal smoothies and whatnot. So I would recommend trying a pumpkin smoothie because that was really delicious.
It was delicious.
Okay, well, don't
Thank you.
forget to follow us. We really need, if you're listening to our podcast, we love you so much. But
Yes.
we really need you to actually follow us. You can subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, get on our socials. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. We know
YouTube.
people are listening, but you're not
interacting.
You're not interacting, you're not following us. So
Gotta give us 5
so
stars,
please
like,
do.
review, comment.
Just throw us a bone. We do love you, we promise. Show the love back.
You know, we want to respond again on Spotify. We cannot respond to comments,
Yeah,
but
so
we would love to hear from you there.
If you want to interact on our YouTube, our videos are always up there, and we can respond to those comments.
Yes, we can.
Or on our Instagram and TikTok, we can too there. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on everything.
Bye.
Bye.